How you guys doing today? My name's Alex Scheidler here with PureFlow AirDog. I'm a tech here. I've been here for a little over a year and a half.
My name is Brandon Grimm. I'm also a tech here, and I've also been here for a little over a year now.
So today what we're going to be talking to you guys about is some of the claims and accusations that our competitor has been making about our product. They have publicly displayed some information about our product that is false and untrue, and we'd like to clear the air about that with you guys. Some of the other things that our competitor was making accusations about is that we do not carry cross-reference numbers for our filters that we have here. They state that they have over 30 cross-reference numbers for their systems. That's because they run semi-sized filters on their pumps, which makes them a lot larger, makes them hang down below your truck more, makes them more easily susceptible to road debris, and also visible to the public. One thing with our pumps is that we have smaller filters for the light-duty diesel trucks that filter everything down to a 2-micron absolute. We do carry cross-reference numbers for these filters. Just because we don't reference them on our website or display them does not mean that we do not have them. We have cross-reference numbers for Napa, Wix, Baldwin, Fleetguard. You can also get a cap filter to adapt to your AirDog. If you call us, we will give them to you so you can go and find them at a local auto parts store and pick them up, so you do not have to buy a direct AirDog filter. We also make a filter in a 10 micron for people in colder climates who like to run 10 micron filters. If you call us 317-421-3180, we will give you those cross-reference numbers. We pretty much know them by heart at this point in time, so if you call us, we'll get them to you, and you can go to an auto parts store, or if you're already at an auto parts store, and grab them from a Napa, Wix, Baldwin, Fleetguard dealer, and get your truck back up and going if you need a filter change.
Another point that was brought up was ownership. They had stated that we're on our 12th manufacturer, which is false. In 1994, PureFlow Technologies manufactured and sold their very first pump. Due to increasing demand in 2009, they had sold the rights to marketing and mass production of the light-duty diesel market to WAP here in Shelbyville, Indiana. Since that point, in Shelbyville, Indiana, we have mass produced every single pump.
So one of the things I'm going to be touching base on, I'm actually going to go over 2 bullet points. Their half-inch ports to our 3/8 ports, as well as their radius cuts. One of the things with the radius cuts is they say that they don't reintroduce air into the system, which may be true, but they also state that our 90-degree angles and T-junctions inside ours actually reintroduce air into the system. That's not the case. If you take a look at our display stand at any of the events we go to, you'll see that no air is reintroduced into the system with our low flow return, as well as the T-junction and 90-degree blocks, 90-degree corners in our system. So that's another false statement that they've made. Another big false statement that they've made about the half-inch to 3/8 ports, how the half-inch is so much different and so much better than a 3/8 port. They claim that every time you double your orifice, you quadruple your flow, and it's simply not true at all. In the world of hydraulics and dynamic fluid system, there's a little thing that's called the continuity equation. The equation states that in a hydraulic system, the flow in one cross-section in the system must equal the flow in another cross-section in another part of the system. Obviously, this would make a big difference in extreme cases, but not in the difference from a half-inch to a 3/8. Since the motor RPM of theirs and ours is the same, and the gear rotor size is the same, this can be applied as a comparison plus. In order to hook up a half-inch to a half-inch fitting, a half-inch hose to a half-inch fitting, the barbed end is going to have to be a 3/8. Once the fuel is inside the half-inch fuel line, the flow rates and the velocities are nearly identical. If you don't have to take my word for it. Look it up, and you can form your own opinion with the continuity equation.
Another point they do bring up is ports for electric and coolant heaters. That is one point that they do have, that we're actually in the process of designing a heater for our systems, which we do hope to have out within the next year or so.
Another thing that our competitor states is that one of their 95-gallon-per-hour pumps will outflow one of our 165 pumps, which is simply not true. And obviously, the video that they use to show one of their pumps outflowing ours is pretty much rigged. Our AirDog 2 system, what you have to understand, is a demand flow type system, and what it does is it actually only sends the fuel that the engine is calling for, and recirculates any excess fuel inside the pump itself. So the reading they were getting with our pump sending the fuel out was incorrect, because it wasn't demanding the full volume of fuel like it would with the way their pumps are set up, to where it sends out all the fuel and returns fuel off of that restriction. So that's one big thing that's different. We'll show you a video of how one of our AirDog 150s flows the exact same amount as one of their 150 systems.
So what I'm going to be showing you guys is the actual flow rate of our AirDog 150. Claim that our pumps don't actually flow the gallons per hour that the pump number states. They said that they're just a part number and not actually a gallon per hour flow rate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on our AirDog 150 here. This is the original AirDog non-adjustable fuel pressure. So this is basically just going to return everything right back to the tank that it does not use, unlike our AirDog 2s that recirculate fuel and only flow out what the truck is demanding. We're going to turn the pump on. So right now at free flow, it's flowing 2.8 gallons per minute, and then it's going to be at alternator voltage 13.8 volts, and then I will bring up the restriction on the outlet towards the engine, which brings up the fuel pressure. I'll bring it up to around 10 psi. Going to be around 2.5 gallons per hour, which is 150 gallons per hour, or 2.5 gallons per minute, which is 150 gallons per hour. And that's at 10 psi.
Alright, we're back now. We have switched out the T-block from a 95 gallon per hour system to our 150 gallon per hour system. We're going to do the same test. We've got the same fuel pressure gauge, same flow meter, same competitor, and the same decibel meter. 150 gallon per hour system at 10 psi, flowing 2.5 gallons per minute. That's 150 gallons per hour.
Another point I want to talk about is basically where they say that we use mineral spirits for our testing. The actual fluid that we use is an industry standard fluid. It's a calibrated test fluid that has the exact same viscosity as diesel fuel. It's actually very widely used in the diesel industry in manufacturing of fuel pumps, fuel injectors, and fuel and oil filters.
Another one of the big things that our competitor is accusing us of having is that our motors are made in China. Our motors are actually made by the exact same company that their motors are made from. So for them to say that our motors are made in China at this time is completely inaccurate and false.
Another point I want to talk about is that they bring up our plastic brackets that subject our pump to road debris. The actual plastic that they speak of is actually an engineered resin made of fiberglass filled nylon. So it's not just a standard plastic, it's actually a very strong plastic that will never rust. As far as our pumps being subject to road debris, we actually recommend that the pump be mounted inside the frame rail, tucked up away from any road debris. That way you're not having rocks thrown up on it, whereas with their mounting, it's going to be mounted right in front of the rear wheel, so if you do not run an inner fender well, you're going to have rocks and any kind of debris can be thrown up and actually damage the pump. Any kind of bracket is going to have some kind of weakness. We've actually received multiple pictures of their brackets breaking, hanging down low, causing the same problems that they claim that we have. So I mean, either way you go, the brackets can have a fault to them, but we actually, with the way we have ours designed, we do see a lot of really good reviews on them as well. Due to popular demand, however, in September we will be bringing back steel brackets just to make our customers feel a little bit safer as they are mounting their pump on the actual frame rail with a steel bracket.
So another thing that our competitor was pretty much badgering us about was how everybody here, our techs, are basically a bunch of bookworms reading from scripts. Well, I'm a tech, Brandon's a tech, I went to school for diesel technology, I've owned probably 15 different diesel trucks. I work on them all myself. If I don't work on them, I have friends help me work on them. If I don't know what I'm doing, I'll go over there, they'll teach me. I've been around them for probably about 9 years now. I've pretty much done everything from injectors in my truck to pulling transmissions, putting transmissions in, lift pumps, installing our systems on other people's trucks for them. So to say that we don't have any mechanical knowledge is a little far-fetched per se. We really wouldn't have even been hired here if we didn't have any kind of mechanical knowledge to let people know what's going on with their truck if they are having an issue, or if it's even an issue with our pump and it may just be something with their truck.
Like he said, I mean, saying that we have no mechanical background is just kind of outrageous. I may not have actual schooling for it, but I mean, as far as schooling goes, I mean, I think personally learning from on hand is a lot better anyway. I bought my first diesel truck when I was in high school. I've owned them off and on ever since then. I had my very first truck was a 03 Power Stroke. I completely bulletproofed it, removed the transmission, we built the transmission. All that was done in my garage with me and a buddy.
Another thing our competitor is saying about our systems is that they're extremely loud compared to theirs. One of the big things about our systems, our new AirDog 2 4Gs, it's the quietest brushed DC motor on the market at this point in time. Right now we had one on a 6.0 Power Stroke for over 30,000 miles, running at 65 PSI. Our max range is about 70 PSI. The higher the fuel pressure, the louder your pump's really going to be. And with the decibel meter directly on the motor side of the pump at 65 PSI, after it had ran for already 30,000 miles on the truck, not directly out of the box, put onto a stand, but on the truck running for multiple miles, it was only reading 72 decibels. Once you get out from underneath the truck and you turn it on, it won't even register on the decibel meter. They had taken one of their 150 pumps in our 165s and said that their pump was a lot quieter than ours. Yes, it was. It was quieter than ours. But with the new AirDog 2 4G, the system is a lot quieter and directly comparable, if not quieter, than their system.
Another point we want to touch on they brought up was failure rate. We did have an issue with our motors. We didn't deny it. We stood up to it. We owned up to it. We also even extended our warranty to help out our customers. We have since then we've moved on. We're still producing very high quality products, and with the 4G, I mean, it's going to be by far the most outlasting pump that's on the market right now. We actually had one running at 70 PSI, which is going to be the highest demand on the pump. It's going to have a higher amp draw, which is going to cause that pump to wear out quicker. It actually ran for over 9,200 hours continuously at 70 PSI. So that's measuring at pressure, and that's the actual pump wear. And I mean, by far with the 4G design with customers, I mean, we've had nothing but great reviews from that pump. In the over 2 years that we've had it out now, we've had one pump come back bad. The one 4G pump that came back bad was actually dropped out of the box and the magnets were actually broke off. Other than that, we've had no bad reviews on the 4G, and it's actually been a very great product that all of our customers really like.
Another big thing that they were saying about our system is that they had over 1 million miles and counting on their and that you couldn't find anything about ours. We actually have a proof of a guy with a PureFlow Technologies AirDog pump on his semi running over 1,800,000 miles on it. We just had a guy send in a new motor that finally gave up for his light duty diesel truck that ran over 500,000 miles on a single pump motor from the day he purchased it to the day it failed. Over 500,000 miles on a light duty diesel system and almost 2 million miles on a PureFlow Technologies semi system.
That basically touches all the points that were brought up. We just want to go ahead and tell you guys thanks for watching the video. Thanks for taking time out of your day to watch the video. We just wanted to clear up the air a little bit and make sure all of the allegations that were made were kind of clarified. As you can see, the stuff that they said is false. So we just want to say thanks for watching the video and taking time out of your day for it.